Hey, Mutiple Eugene, welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. I found something out, or I've discovered something about the greater narcissists in many cases where they have, well, put it this way, there are many times where there will be multiple narcissists that will indirectly and directly gang up on the empath, the chosen one. I found this in a court setting. Say, for example, if you're in litigation with a narcissist, the the powers that be, if they're the greater narcissist aware, a narcissist that is aware, and you have a bunch of unawares narcissists, uh, or lower level narcissists, they will indirectly gang up because the telepathy that they both and they all share is very similar. Just like I believe empaths can readily identify an empath with, with a real uh, conscious observation. I think we can determine that because even here, for example, we know who are chosen and who are not. We know this. I mean, uh, when you say beyond a shadow of a doubt, well, we are human, we err, but you get the gist of where I'm going. We know just by characteristics, by behaviors, and this is something you can't fake, you can't pretend, you can't wing it. Although um, we have gotten out of narcissistic relationships and fallen right back into an even worse narcissist situation. But I found it very interesting that they don't have to know each other. As I pointed out, it's just by the way that they speak and carry themselves or um, demonstrate certain behaviors, their appearance. I think it's just a lot of things that these entities know one another intuitively. And what you'll find is if you just think that you're dealing with one narcissist or an individual narcissist and you're not really in tune with what's going on around you, you'll be side blinded by this or blindsided by this because it's something that you were not expecting, and it actually happens more than we want to believe. And to say to yourself, how does these people, that's totally, the chances of that, they don't know each other. They can be in positions of power, authority, and influence where, as I just pointed out, the courts, they're very unethical people to begin with. It doesn't matter if they're a judge, doctor, lawyer. They can portray themselves as something they're not. Don't you know that that's what a narcissist is? They are a fake facade. And so this is a world problem. This is a world epidemic. This is worse than pandemic, COVID. This is worse than COVID-19. COVID-19 was a karma in many ways to a narcissist. It was karma delayed. And there will be many more karmas that come along for the narcissist. So don't worry about repaying the narcissist, wondering if they'll get what they richly deserve. These things happen because you have what you call cause and effect. You have what you call consequence, and reaping what you sow. And we're all going to do this at one point or another in our life. But I've spoke about this before. The thing about empaths and chosen ones, we tend to reflect. The narcissist doesn't. They don't reflect for the better. They may reflect or look upon something that they're going through, but they'll right way desert the idea that they need to do better, and they will blame it on somebody else, or they will use the next person in line to pay for their distress or what they went through with someone else. Uh, you know this because the new supply goes through it. The new supply catches hell for the one that got away, which is you and me. So I found that very interesting that greater narcissists that are aware, they can right way grasp onto and latch on to, say, an argument, say in a bar, you see a fight break out. There are times when people who have nothing to do with this confusion and uh, this confrontation, they will jump in and just start beating on this person because their perception is you're bad. So they begin to act like a pack of hyenas. And it makes no logical sense because you say to yourself, you the empath and chosen one, we will first thing we would do if we were going to intervene, we would get in the middle of it and try to break it up. If we were to do something like that, we wouldn't just automatically just start choosing one or the other and just start beating the hell out of one another. This is demonic, it's barbaric. People who don't even know one another, just they get in where they fit in. And this is the explanation for all the atrocious happenings, whereas people gang up on each other. And you know narcissists do gang up on empaths. And that's exactly what you're seeing when you see this. Because narcissists can't think for themselves, first of all. They have to think off of someone else. They have to react and move based upon a set of factors outside of themselves. They can't form critical thinking where it counts for the good. No, they can't. So I just wanted to talk about that very briefly. When you're in something with one narcissist, don't always look at it as though you're involved with just a single narcissist, because there are many moving parts, and a lot of times there will be many moving people in this situation that you perceive that it's just you and that narcissist. Because if you are going through something with somebody, just like I said, the bar fight or the bar confrontation, take this to another situation where you're in a setting where you're just observing, and all of a sudden two people start bickering back and forth. You will see one narcissist says something, interject, put their 2 cents in, talking just off the wall to add to injury to insult. Then all of a sudden, that empath who's being a voice of reason is being batted down with all of this barrage of nonsense by way of not the one narcissist, but the other one who interjected their 2 cents. Then you'll hear a third party interject. And what you'll find is neither one of these three narcissists are in unison. They are just throwing random rocks at the victim, the culprit, or the victim, being the empath or the chosen one. You will be that person that will get a barrage of insults and whatnot from total strangers. Let's say in that city council meeting. And then I'll tell you something else a narcissist will do. If there is a voice of reason in there that you perceived is a voice of reason, that fourth narcissist in position of authority and control, they may blurt out and interject, hey, cut that out, or we're going to do this or that. It'll be a threatening announcement. And that threatening announcement, the empath may say, wow, I just know out of these three people, at least two of them going to probably get apprehended or thrown out of here or go to jail. And when that one in authority, that fourth narcissist who interjected and made that idle threat, when they do pull the trigger on and follow through with that threat, guess who goes to jail or gets apprehended? amongst the narcissist? You. They'll point you out and you've been silent for the last 2 minutes. But because they look at you, you were part of that problem as well. When in fact, you were the original speaker or the one who originally spoke. And then you had the one narcissist interject and give a sly comment. Then you had a second one. Then you had a third one. This is often when they're trying to bat down what you're saying, especially if you're truth telling. They can't stand it. I'm sure some of you all have been in a situation where you were the righteous one. And because you were talking logical to illogical people, they chimed in and they tried to douse that fire. And at the end of the day, you, that voice of reason, who wasn't belligerent, who wasn't talking vulgar, who were just probably vocal, and you may have raised your voice a little bit just because you had to talk over people. But nothing really, unruly. You end up being that one that they haul off to the squad car or get a charge, disturbing the peace. It'll be something very, very erroneous or absurd, and you'll say, and it's further supposed to gaslight you. It's further supposed to get you out of your character, because thus far you've been in character. But the problem was you were telling the truth. I thought that this was something very important, because as we're healing and we're coming out of this madness, there are times when your Zen is here and you'll go into a situation where you want to just speak to the matter because your vibration is well. You're healthy. And the narcissist knows that you are healthy. It petrifies them because of the fact that you're doing so well, and they cannot contain their emotions. And it agitates them. So don't allow these groupings to indirectly and directly gang up and assault you verbally and have you caught up in something that you shouldn't be. So the way you would deal with that is determine that this is what's happening sooner rather than later. And I would say fall back and observe, not cowardly. And if you feel like there is something in that situation or someone in that situation that can get some resolve for you or whoever you feel that can give you some resolve in that, you speak to that person. You speak directly to that person. Don't go tit for tat for those people coming at you from the sidelines, because you'll have 2 or 3 people chiming in because they fear that truth is coming out. Even if you're not talking about them or telling the truth about them, some people hate the way the world is when truth tellers are telling it or running it. You see it in comments on some of the mainstream TikTok and YouTubes and stuff. You go in the comment section, you'll see one person just giving their individual comment or their opinion, and it'll be a mild, modest truth telling opinion as they see it, and be logical. And you'll have somebody come in out of the blue and they'll start antagonizing that commenter, and then all of a sudden that commenter replies back, and you know how this goes. And you stroll down and you're just looking at the comments, and let's say if this video is very funny and someone say, everything's funny at the expense of someone else, say they say that, and they'll say, oh, it was just a joke. And that initial commenter would say, well, I know that, but someone could have gotten hurt. These narcissists don't want to hear the voice of reason. Then before you know it, this is a whole slew of 3 or 4 people have chimed in against that one commenter. I guess that's really what I'm trying to capture here, guys. So be careful. Don't get yourself caught into these things, because narcissists can affect you from afar too. They don't have to be in your presence. They can affect you. They can throw your groove off. They can throw your vibration off. They work at your nerves. They work on your nerves because they want to throw you off balance, because they don't have balance. They hate that you are who you are, and they're not who you are, and they hate that they can never be who you are, because there's something about you that appeals to them. So much so, they want to be a part of your life just to destroy it. Misery loves company. That being said, bless.